Hey foodie friends, what are we getting into today? I'm going to make meatloaf 3 different ways. I'm going to do it the traditional with the ketchup, a little bit different with some steak sauce, and also one with barbecue sauce. So my usual cast of characters is one of these, normally ketchup. You got your green pepper, your onion, mustard, just a little. It gives it a really neat, I don't know, flavor. You don't taste the mustard, but it does something to it, magical. And then Lowry's seasoned salt, some onion powder, some breadcrumbs, some sugar. You don't have to put sugar in it, but again, it makes it magical. In this case, it'll be brown sugar. My secret ingredient is half a pack of fajita seasoning. So I've already got half a pack weight in there, and a couple of eggs. And as far as the meat goes, in this case, I grind my own meat, be it beef or chicken or whatever. In this case, it's turkey loins. It's butterball turkey loins. I found them way better than any other turkey loins. I don't know what they do to it, but I grind it myself. I don't have to worry about bacteria and all those things and the bone bits and gristle that goes in cheap burger. And how much meat is it? I'm not really sure. It's a good amount because I want to make 3 different loaves. The reason I go with sweet onions is they don't burn your eyes off, first of all, when you go to cut them, even though you can put it under water all day long. And they do taste better, and the layers are thicker inside. They're not real papery thin like some other onions. So I really like this sweet. There's Vidalia onion, and then there's the sweet onions, and sometimes the sweet onions come really big too. So I prefer just the cheaper sweet onions. But one time I got tricked and I got Spanish onions, and that was just as strong as a yellow onion and really thin layers. Stick with the sweet onion. So I'm gonna start chopping my veggies up. And by the way, a lot of people cook their veggies ahead of time and throw it in their meatloaf. But I'm going to dice it so small that it's going to be just perfect in the meatloaf. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to try all 3, and then when the husband gets home, we'll have him try it, and we'll see which one's the winner. And I'm going to mix everything in the bigger bowl that would go in any of the meatloafs, and then I'll add in these other 3 flavors a little at a time and separate them on the pan. So I've got the water running back there just to give it the first douse of water, which you want to do on any onion, just to make sure that it keeps the stuff from burning your eyes. While I'm here, I'm just going to cut the outsides off. So what I do to make sure I don't slip and cut myself is I put this little slit in there first and just cut off the ends. I cut it right down the middle, and then I'm going to wet it under the water and peel the outside off. So I put it under the water for a few seconds, and look how thick the layers are. Do you see what I mean? They are just so much more tender and yummy in food, whatever food you put it in. And I actually am sticking with organic peppers because they actually soak up the most pesticides, one of the most. There's like the Dirty Dozen or something they call it. Google the Dirty Dozen, you'll see which ones you really should get in organic and which ones don't matter. So you'll see I'm going to cut this into really fine little pieces so that it'll cook down much better in the meatloaf. Chop it as fine as you can. A couple of these outside layers, if they still feel like they're a little bit too tough, just set them to the side. If you don't feel like dicing onions, you can get them already diced in the store. I think those are usually the more potent yellow onion, you know, the cheaper onion. Just watch those fingers and kind of curve them in so if you do get close to your fingers, it doesn't chop off a digit. I think that's good. So I'll put this in a bag for another day. Same thing with the green pepper. I probably won't use it all because it's not a whole lot of meat. And the pepper, I used to go through all this trouble of popping the top out, making a big mess and seeds go everywhere. But I just kind of see where I'm at with it and just cut around the seeds and then save the rest for another time. I cut it the rough side up so that it doesn't slip around with a knife. And even though you want to have a nice sharp knife so it doesn't slip around, it's just this other side's a little more waxy looking. So again, cut them really, really tiny. The neat thing about making them really tiny diced is so that there's some in every bite. Really tiny little pieces. It's hard to curve my fingers in here because I'm trying to hold all these little slivers together, but you know, just keep your fingers out of the way. So let's fast forward until it's all done. And yes, I scoop stuff up with my knife, but until you're really used to that, just scoop it up with just your hands. I think that's pretty good. So there's something that I do that I kind of learned from my mom, is you really just want to get in there with your hands when it comes to mixing, but you can always just use a spoon or whatever. Dump that in. I said I'm not going to use too much mustard. I've done this with when I barbecue things and put like ribs or whatever. I've put a little mustard on it and it makes it good, and you just don't taste the mustard. And it also helps your seasonings to stick to whatever you're making. Not going to put too much of this because we're also going to have the fajita seasoning. And if you get the fajita seasoning, it's wonderful for tacos. Forget that taco seasoning. Fajita seasoning is wonderful in all your Mexican dishes, but get the McCormick. I have tried other brands and to save a little bit of money, ugh. I mean, just, it smells good and there's nothing, that's just the top of it. It just smells amazing. So that's going to be the bulk of our seasoning. Onion powder, if you're worried about sodium, has no sodium in it. And I like to go a little heavy. Yes, it has onions in it, but the onion powder makes it really good. Again, I don't know, teaspoon, half teaspoon, a cup, a bowl, just whatever, just, you know, put a little bit in. And at the end, I've always said you can always add, but you can't take away. You can't pre-taste this like some of the things I've made, like soups and stuff. So at the end, if you feel it needs more seasoning, just shake it on right afterwards. But if it's too salty to begin with, you've ruined it. How much breadcrumb? Not too much. Just about that much. All right, let's crack our eggs in there. Now, if you're not sure about cracking eggs and you're worried about a shell, just crack them in a bowl first and then put them in. But I like to crack them flat onto something instead of on the edge of a bowl, because that kind of shoves all the shells up in there and then you got a good chance of getting shells. Just give it a little rust. And you can kind of look, there's no shells. You can see they're all still connected there. Just like that. See, they all stay connected. You can see the whole thing. And you can look in there. I don't see anything. Okay, so I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to show you something that I do. Oh, and you also want to put your sugar or brown sugar, whatever, in. Again, you don't have to, but if you do it with spaghetti sauce, it is to die for, especially the brown sugar. It's a little bit clumpy, so we'll just put a little bit, not too much. Just a little bit. I mean, you saw it wasn't very much. But now that I have washed my hands and stuff, I'm going to show you. I even took my rings off because sometimes I'll go in there with 2 hands. But since I'm going the route of 3 different flavors, I'm going to just use a dirty hand and have a clean hand. So we'll mix all this up without these special flavors. If you do it this way, it incorporates everything evenly, and then you just wash your hands afterwards. Rings are off, they're over there. You don't want to do this with your rings on. I see a lot of people do that, and it is not good. So all that stuff gets stuck in your ring, and then it's just gross. Okay, so I've got it all mixed up there. I'm going to put some in the bowl for each flavor that I'm going to mix. Now, I have not tried this before, so it's going to be interesting. I'm going to try to make 3 little loaves to sit side by side so we can cook them all at the same time. And they're not going to be loaf shaped. In fact, I've learned that if I leave it more like a flatter shape, then it cooks the vegetables more, where if I have the edge around the outside to let some of the juices out, sometimes the vegetables are a little bit dry that way. So I'm taking about 1/3, see, like a 1, 2, and about 1/3. That's about right, just so we can try to make them as even as possible. What I didn't think about was taking the lids off of these first. But we can do it like this. You improvise, right? All right, so let's do a little bit with the barbecue sauce. You don't want to overdo, you just want to get enough to get the flavor in there, and then we're going to put some on the top. And some people, I've done it both ways. You can just bake it with nothing on the top, because sometimes it'll burn a little bit on the top, and then add it to the top at the end. So there you go. So let's scoop that in here. Try to keep it all to one of its own sides here. Then I'm gonna rinse this bowl out so it doesn't have barbecue flavor. This is one of my stranger videos, but I think this is gonna be an interesting test. Okay, so I'm gonna keep the barbecue on my left, and it's gonna go in the toaster oven the same direction. I'm not gonna use the big oven because I don't need that much room. So the barbecue will be on the left. So I'm gonna set the barbecue bottle on the left. I mean, I'm gonna know it when I taste it, which is which. Okay, so let me rinse this out and we'll come back and do the ketchup. Okay, so I cleaned my hand off so I don't have the barbecue smells and flavors on it. And I'm gonna open these ahead of time now. Let's do the ketchup one. So let's take out about 1/3. And you could take just do one flavor. I'm just making this complicated because I'm curious how it's all going to turn out. A little ketchup, not too much. Probably like that. So remember, we're going to put more on top. Give it a good mixy. Keep the clean hand as clean as possible. All right, so barbecue's on the left, ketchup's in the middle. Let's put this in the middle. Try to make some kind of separation just so we don't get them mixed up. Kind of like that. All right, let's clean this out and let's do the last one. Oh, and what's that back there? Our Valentine's gifts between my husband and I. We're going to open those tomorrow. Yay! Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. So as you might have noticed, a little bit got on the counter, and anytime I prep any kind of meats or whatever, I actually figured out over the years to put 91% rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle and just spray everything down. I mean, you wipe it down first, but give it a good spray all around the sink, even my hands, and it kills everything. Okay, last but not least, the last third's going to be done with steak sauce. On food shows, like back in TV food shows, they always have somebody to clean up everything and pick up for you, but it's just me. I had to order this online because you can't find it anywhere anymore directly, but this is the best steak sauce that we've found. And it can go on chicken and shrimp. We've had it on everything. It's really good. So let's just put a little bit, not too much. Okay, about the same amount as the others. It smells good. It instantly makes it smell like steak. Like you just pulled a steak off the grill and put your steak sauce on it. We've done the A1 and stuff, but that's just too, I don't know if it's too vinegary or too something. Okay, so take my clean hand, close it up. This will be on my right side. So I might have done a little too much for part 3. So I'm not going to put it all in here because it's going to be too much. So we'll try to separate it. I don't know, that middle one's a little bit smaller than these other two, so I'll just stop there. So I clean my hands, and this is what I do. It's just like a habit anymore. 91%, not the, what's the other one, 76% or something, because I use it to kill bugs with too. You can put this thing on, mist or spray where it's like straight shot, and I just hit bugs and spiders, and it doesn't hurt your paint or anything. It dries right up, bugs are dead, throw them away. Do this, and just one more rinse and we're ready. Because I'm a foodie, I do like to watch some of these YouTube food videos, but I'm telling you, in some of these third world countries, and no offense to anybody, but they'll be out there just cutting meat, cutting it right off of the cow, like literally, and then their hands are all yuck, and then they grab their seasonings and they're cutting it on the board that's got old blood on it. Sorry, but that's just not me. Okay, enough of that. So I'm gonna put this in the toaster oven, loosely covered, and when I say loosely, let me show you. I'm down to the nub on my full, but I've got more. I'm gonna leave it a little bit of air, a little bit of escape. But I've done it uncovered, and it does tend to completely dry the meat out. So sometimes I uncover both sides, but it's going in that toaster oven. I don't want it to get caught on anything. So I'm gonna put this in the toaster oven for about an hour at 350. And then if you want, you can check it with a temperature thing. I can tell when it's kind of crusty looking, that it's gonna be done. You can just tell. So let's go and put this in, and I'll see you back in a little bit. Stay tuned. Hey foodie friends, so I'm back. I know the color looks a little funny because remember it's ground turkey. And if you use ground turkey, it's lighter than ground beef. However, I've kept the barbecue on my left. I'm standing like that. Ketchup in the middle and the steak sauce on the right. So let's give it a try. Then the husband's going to try it next. Just going to try a little bit because we're going to have dinner with those mashed potatoes I made back there that I just showed you. And I like those mashed potatoes a lot better than some other brands. Okay, enough jibber jabber. Here's the barbecue. Of course, it smells amazing. It smells so smoky. I love this barbecue sauce. KC Masterpiece, but everybody's got their favorite. It's making my mouth water. So the vegetables are nice and tiny in there. You can see the little green bits, and you can't really see the onions as good because of the meat's a lighter color. That's exceptional. It tastes more like barbecue pork ribs probably than a meatloaf, but if you like barbecue, that is really, really good. Let's try the ketchup one with a little extra ketchup on it. Try this corner here. And again, the meat's going to look the same. There's your ketchup. You know, that's just your standard average ketchup-y flavor. So far, the barbecue is my favorite. Now let's try it with the steak sauce. Let me get a corner that's got a good amount of sauce on it. Of course, you can add more sauce to it. But there's the steak sauce. This is one of the more strange videos I've done because I just thought this would be kind of an interesting thing to just try it 3 different ways, 3 different flavors. All right, steak sauce, here we go. And as you can hear, the vegetables are just enough you can tell they're there, but they're not over crunchy. This mic is kind of sensitive, so it might sound over crunchy, but this is very good. So for me, my favorite's the barbecue. Second favorite's the steak sauce because it has a nice sweetness to it. And then the ketchup is last, the traditional. It's okay. Let's see what the husband thinks. So Brian just got home from work. Hey Brian, say hey.
Hello everybody.
So as I mentioned, the barbecue is up front, the ketchup's in the middle, and the steak sauce is closest to us. So he's going to try these as is. Go ahead and try the barbecue first. It's got a little bit of onion, a little green pepper.
Yeah, it's good.
Go ahead and try your ketchup-y one.
Okay, here's the standard ketchup.
And be honest, what you think of these different flavors.
A little bit too much ketchup on that one, but it's still really good.
Okay, and what's the next one is your steak sauce. It's the steak sauce that you like, that flavor.
I think for the meatloaf, I think this one's the best.
Which one?
The barbecue.
That was my favorite too. I didn't want to tell you yet.
Let me try again, just to make sure.
Yay! And then I made us some mashed potatoes, not from scratch, but they're our favorite. So let's go eat some dinner.
Good.
Hey, if you guys like these type of videos, it would be a huge honor to have you subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Yay!